Is it then the final on day 3 of the Winter Series? And it is a battle, quite aptly, between the Iceman and the Heat. Michael Smith taking the title on each of the opening 2 days of action here. Gerwyn Price losing in his second match on each of those 2 days. But he's put everything right this afternoon and made a run to the decider. Getting to the point where in these series of events, it's unusual not to see Gerwyn Price win one, but both Price and Heta won at the Autumn Series, and one of them is going to pick up a title at the Winter Series this evening. The question is, which one? We're about to find out, but Paul Nicholson, I'll put you on the spot from the start.
Damon Heta.
Bold call.
Throw for the ball.
Is that some kind of Australian solidarity, or are you just impressed with what you've seen so far today?
Outside.
I've been very impressed with Damon today. He's averaged a shade over a ton for the day. He is statistically the best player.
25.
I love the way he just measures everything, and no matter what Gerwyn Price throws at him here, he will be ready for it. He's had some interesting challenges over the course of the last 6 hours. And he's someone who does perform in finals. And I'm not just talking about the one at the Autumn Series, it's the finals that he's played in the last couple of years. People tend to forget that he won the Australian Open last year.
140.
In Echuca in Victoria.
Well, in PDC finals, he has a 100% record so far. The Brisbane Darts Masters last year when he beat Rob Cross in that thrilling
97.
final. And then in Germany at the Autumn Series, an 8-4 win against Joe Cullen, and it was good value for that. But Gerwyn Price has already won 7 titles in a heavily curtailed 2020 season.
Yeah, I think Price has played almost B+ starts today to get to this final, which is a huge compliment to him. And both players have got out of jail on occasion. Damon Heta in round number 2 against Niels Zonneveld was 5-3 down to the Dutchman and managed to wrangle his way to a 6-5 win. Doesn't get the first 57 on this combination. And Price will look south himself, hoping he gets a 51 for 2 at double 18.
Well, that's exactly what he did in the semi-final against Willie O'Connor. Broke at the earliest possible opportunity and then just kept that advantage throughout. And it's 87 out, an 11 dart leg, and it is a textbook start to this final for Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, just a bit. Mentioned that they had tight games early. Well,
59.
for Price, it was the game against Reece Robinson where he put in his best performance of the day for me. Not just statistically, but in grinding it out.
180.
Heta gets on the maximum train.
Yeah, won that match you mentioned, Paul, 6-5.
41.
In his opener this afternoon, Gerwyn Price. There were rumours that he was considering an early departure from this event. Gerwyn Price, but he's decided against that, and
81.
it might be paying off, that decision, if it is indeed true.
Yeah, he's just trying to take the pressure off himself, I think. And he has played today without any sort of aggression.
140.
He's been quite timid. I don't know whether you heard about that first game that Heta played today, though, against Adrian Lewis. I mean, that is a particularly nasty draw for Adrian. But we heard that that game included, in the 11 legs, 13 180s and a 177.
Yeah, remarkable stuff. A very difficult draw for both players, but Heta
57.
edging it in the end, and then, as you said, edging his next match against Niels Zonneveld as he looks to level up and has earned himself an opportunity here to break straight back, having kicked off this second leg with the maximum.
58.
Wouldn't mind a maximum here, Price. Possible. No such luck.
100.
And you can tell that a lot of the visits he's putting in today, he's just not happy. Imagine being this unhappy and still in the final. Well, it's 87 at the double, is it? Would be a double 9. Oh, wires them both, and Price can steal it.
He loves this 104. The 16s route is his MO on this. Treble found. The single, always a foregone conclusion, and the double
84.
often is for Gerwyn Price, but this time he misses and allows Heta another chance.
Eyes are fixated on the double 9. No such thinking of the split. Oh, and that's a bad dart. You heard the groan from Damon Heta. It just didn't come out right. And Price is in to pounce. Oh, no! Not this again.
Well, a solid start to this match, but what a bizarre leg this is turning into. Heta kicked it off with a maximum, and then both players have fluffed double attempts. But finally, Heta perhaps gets his just rewards there.
Do you remember what happened with Watamina on day 1 of the Winter Series?
Two bust attempts, wasn't it? Double 8 he needed, one in the single 16, one in the double 11. Gerwyn Watamina, by the way, is hanging on to that provisional Grand Slam spot by virtue of players falling at just the final point, which he needed to win a match to overtake him. That counts for both the beaten semi-finalists, Callan Ridds and William O'Connor. He'll be breathing a sigh of relief to see 2 players already in it at this stage, and 2 players back at it.
Oh, we're seeing Price ramp up the aggression. Heta misses his chance for a 9-dart attempt. Price is still on one. Not anymore.
He managed to go 7 darts into a potential perfect leg in the semi-final. We have seen 4 9-darters in the first 3 days of this Winter Series.
This is amazing darts in this leg from both players.
36.
Here's why they are in the final. Best of 15 legs.
140.
And they're both under 100 after 9. Heta with the more doable out and the position. A position which he takes.
Just managed to wrestle back the advantage, having been broken in the first leg here, Damon Heta.
180.
Gerwyn Price. This is what he was doing at the World Cup. Beginning legs with 180s, like that was just normal.
Well, Wales winning that World Cup would say that their most difficult challenge came from Australia, which included Damon Heta, of course. I think Heta's stock is rising by the month.
Yeah,
58.
good point that, because in actual fact it was his World Cup teammate Simon Whitlock that probably should have beaten Gerwyn Price. They didn't end up playing each other because they were pitched to, the 2 skippers pitched themselves against each other, but it was a really close one, that, and Wales prevailed in the end. Another
134.
story of Team Australia being the Neely men in that one, but we won't go into the history of that.
Their time will come, especially when Whitlock is not finished and this guy's just emerging.
Yeah, Simon Whitlock
60.
was the man who knocked out Peter Wright, the highest ranked player in the tournament this afternoon, and beat him 6-1, showing signs of doing something
43.
special. Simon Whitlock, he's qualified for the Grand Slam, of course, as well, so keep your eye on his performance there. Gerwyn Price furious in the background there with himself.
He hasn't been a happy bunny today. He's been like a caged animal.
58.
He's going to have to keep his eye on his temperament throughout this final. He's going to have to be patient as well, because Heta is not quick. He's very deliberate. He's going to take his time. And we do know that Price likes to play fast games.
Gerwyn Price opting not to go for the bullseye. It has paid off.
93.
Well, that's a massive miss by his standard.
I got the 20 out of the way, that's for sure.
20.
And as far as visits go, that is a nightmare in this final. None of them close to their requisite bed. And Heta is in for the steal. He's been great down here today, but isn't on this occasion, and Price is getting fortunate when he needs it. For a 20 dart leg. Blackjack on 21. Well, it's 2-2. It's not the highest standard we've seen today. They're both averaging around 92, but there is room for improvement. But Murph, I've got to bring this up because we haven't had a final between Heta and Price yet. This is like an alternative universe, isn't it? I should be looking at Alan Warren a little and Dennis Ovens. It's a second generation nickname game.
Yeah, good point. The
100.
second coming of the Iceman and the Heat. Certainly serving those nicknames proud. Gerwyn Price, you mentioned, might have to make sure he keeps his rhythm here against Heta, but he has played him twice and beaten him twice. 105 average in their first meeting at a Players' Championship event pre the current climate. And they did meet as well at the Autumn Series, Price beating Heta and then going on to win the title.
Well, with the two finals we've seen already, I'm sure we're in for another close one. Yesterday's was thrilling.
95.
Let's face it, Tuesday's wasn't bad either.
Yeah, we saw what it meant to Michael Smith to end his title drought that
99.
spread over a couple of years. Gerwyn Price looking to end his here, Paul. He's not won one since Sunday.
It's a horrible drought, that, isn't it? Less than a week.
139.
Well, he's not going to take out a huge check out here, and that will allow Heta the opportunity to just edge back in front, but Price has left himself a double to break if Heta can't complete this. Treble 14. It is in.
Price had to go backwards there. He was close to the exclusion zone.
Game shot.
But Heta is perfect there, and he's showing a little bit of passion with that fist pump there. I've just done a little bit of digging, Murph. The last time Alan Warren a little and Dennis Ovens played each other was in a final at the Irish Masters back in 2002, and it was won by the Heat. Is that an omen?
Interesting. Well, at least the Heat has got a win against the Iceman.
140.
This Heat hasn't yet, but that might change in the next 20 minutes or so.
85.
I thought you were going to give it the old history lesson there, Paul. The Spice Girls were #1, and it was that bleak winter of 2002.
Was a pretty bleak winter, 2002.
84.
Well, you know what they say. Heat always beats ice. But it hasn't been the case so far, has it?
1.
There comes the Iceman.
Turning up the Heat, Gerwyn Price, as he pins his 15th maximum of the day.
134.
Trading blows now. This is turning into a very entertaining match. And so often is the case that we don't need 105 averages for both players to have a great game. We just need them to be in that mid-90s range with proficiency on the outer ring.
Yeah, but we also know that either of them, particularly Gerwyn Price, has got the ability to just lift off at any given moment. And if one of them does that here,
93.
then they could run away with this in no time at all.
Had one of these in the quarterfinal. Did Gerwyn Price? He's not going to get this one.
80.
But this is a huge, huge opportunity now for Damon to get to 4-2. This is the halfway point, staring straight at him. That is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world if he can guide it over the top. Oh, just too much on it.
4.
A present for Price.
Game shot.
And Gerwyn takes the gift. Double top. Back on point.
He's had chances, hasn't he, Heta?
He certainly has. And that just augurs well for Gerwyn Price. His last attempt at double a top was miles away. It hit the numbers, didn't it?
If Price does come through this, I think it'll be a fascinating interview with Dan Dawson.
100.
He's had days where he has been untouchable in victories, particularly at the start of last season. He had a day where the average was at 106 for the day, and nobody got near him. Just goes to show that tournament victories are never the same. You can dominate, you can do something in between, or you can eke your way to the victory.
97.
And if Price can get the job done, today's an eking day.
Yeah, he's a winning machine now, isn't he, Gerwyn Price? It's not always
55.
about blowing your opponents out of the water.
You get yourself in the mindset, Murph, of I like to cash big checks. Now, he's cashed a lot of big checks in his career, but you come to these tournaments and you cash the 10 grand. Makes you feel pretty good. Even though you've got all these tournament victories, you want more.
And that would have been the frustration of the last couple of days, Gerwyn Price, just winning one match and then being beaten.
100.
He'll have been looking at it thinking, it's not worth my time to be here.
Sometimes it's good to get into that mindset of I don't get out of bed for less than 6 grand. That's what Phil Taylor used to do. That's what Michael van Gerwen has done over the last 7 years.
Well, that's a bit of a slip there.
79.
He got his maths wrong. I'm really, really surprised that he was looking north on the board there, and he's got it wrong.
I'm not sure he's worked out how he's looking bemused, Gerwyn Price,
60.
but one more point would have got him a finish.
Just had a Johnny Clayton moment, hasn't he?
It's
Been hanging out with the ferret too much. Oh, and look at this. I mean, that's so ironic.
Well, yeah, he knows it. Shake of the head. But Heta could take advantage. A look to the heavens from Gerwyn Price. But there's nobody there to help him. Damon Heta is back in front.
Blow for blow. This is getting good. It's conceivable
139.
that Heta could be 6-1 up. That's not an exaggeration. He's had a couple of times where he's had double 16 with 2 and missed both of them. But predominantly, he's been very, very good in the southwest corner.
They just seem to have punished each other's mistakes so far in this match, and then made a mistake in the next leg that is
180.
punished in turn by their opponent.
Every time he's been asked from this kind of position where he's one behind, he's come up with something.
100.
Yeah, refusing to let Heta get out of sight here, Gerwyn Price.
You know what's amazing, Murph? It's the fact that Price is doing this and he's not expelling a lot of energy. In the early parts of his career, where he was trying to get that first win, it will have felt so difficult. But because he's been through all of this before and he's a winning machine, like you say,
180.
this will feel very normal.
Well, this for a 10-darter. A dozen will do.
Game shot.
Just denying the chance for Heta to steal. Was a big finish he'd left himself, but the 180 gave him that opportunity had Price missed.
Does anybody in World Darts drop darts more than Gerwyn Price?
Yeah, for a former
180.
rugby player, it's quite remarkable, isn't it, the amount of times he fumbles. Incidentally, Damon Heta has
57.
fired in back-to-back maximums here.
He didn't get a shot at the 161 on the 3-4-1 conversion.
134.
But he's stone-faced, isn't he, in this challenge? He's just very, very focused.
It's the pattern of the match for both players.
134.
Lose a leg, produce a big one. It was Price's turn last time around. He went out in 12.
This is looking like the same sort of thing. Possibly one better. These are good players, aren't they? It's great to watch.
Well, the ton 40 would leave the finish this time. And again, he's left a big one. This is absolutely brilliant stuff.
2 at double 16 again. And he goes one in front again. Jousting. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's just fabulous. It's amazing to me that the averages are not at 100 yet. They probably will be touching there in a minute because the accuracy has come after a few scratchy legs early. This is a glorious game of darts.
We talked about it, Paul, in the early stages. We said that one of them could lift off and run away. We didn't expect that both of them would. And that's what appears to be happening here.
There's something I said very aptly on Tuesday evening with the Wattamina Smith game. We haven't seen the biggest moment yet. We haven't seen it in this game. It's still to come. And about 20 seconds after I said that, that was when Wattamina had those 2 bust shots, and that was massive.
33.
What are we going to find out in the next couple of legs? Who's going to get that big gap that they really crave?
Gerwyn Price started exactly as he would have wished, breaking in the first leg. Heta broke straight back. Since then, it's all gone with the throat.
Heta's working hard now.
59.
Every dart is getting full attention. Treble 16. But that is
92.
fine. Again, it's a leave after 12, which seems to be commonplace now, if not better.
$45.
No pressure on Price. And he can just gear himself up. Oh, can he?
Game shot.
Again, the last dart in hand to hold throw and deny his opponent an opportunity at a finish.
Good on 10s, questionable on tops. Has to be said. And surely it's a 180 start from Heta here. Not to be.
100.
He'd be devastated with that ton. But that first dart did kick down a little bit just to create a bit of a barrier with the first flight. No such barrier for Price as this one is going up a notch now.
And we are starting to see the animation that you suggested has been lacking from Price's demeanour over the course of the last 3 days. He's pumped up. He's got his eyes on the prize.
97.
And maybe he's sensing that this is the leg where he can make his move.
Don't forget, they're playing for a few quid here.
100.
They're probably not thinking about that. I'll be very surprised if they are, because they've made themselves very financially secure throughout the course of either this year or a career. But this is about the win and nothing else.
58.
Both players safe for the Slam, safe for the Worlds, safe for the Players' Championship Finals. It's all about glory. And it's games like that that deliver.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if Price wins this if he decides to take a couple of days off and then just gets home and gets some rest before returning for his Grand Slam defence.
I think that's a very good point. I think that could be his motivation. Spent a lot of time away from home, been to Salzburg,
97.
been to Euro Tours. Does he want to win it so he can go and see the kids?
He'll be back in town
98.
to try and complete a hat-trick of Grand Slam of Darts titles. Remarkable stuff. This would be remarkable stuff from Damon Heta. Not going to happen, and Gerwyn Price is poised on his favourite double to get a very, very timely break of throat.
Might be his favourite, but he's going to hit 10s.
So he needs to miss inside is your
93.
suggestion here, Paul.
He hasn't been brilliant on tops so far. Oh, but he's going to hit this now.
He can't miss, can he?
Game shot.
No, he can't. And that could be the biggest moment because that is a break of throw. 2 breaks in the match, as that graphic suggests. Is he going to kick forward now to try and win this 8-5?
100.
There's kicking forward for you.
Yeah, absolutely superb. The second dart just landed kind of precariously, and Gerwyn Price just shrugged it off and landed a treble 19.
140.
I'm not sure how he got that one in. That was a proper stanchion job, that. Right in the corner.
134.
Price is looking almost rested and practiced right now. The same sort of state that we saw Peter Wright in at Oberhausen for the Europeans. He looked like he could play all day.
Yeah, and that might have been one of the factors in
85.
Price's mind about whether to compete in all of this event. We know that Michael van Gerwen has taken an approach where we might see him towards the end of the week, maybe even tomorrow. But deciding not to stay here for 5 taxing days of darts.
It's really nice to have the option. I had that once in 2011. It was great. Shall I play this weekend or shall I not? Shall I take a weekend off? I don't need to play, but I want to play.
Oh, you're talking about playing? I thought you were angling for tomorrow off, Paul.
Give over. Don't do days off anymore.
Well, 86 here. He went for bull there. Not the smartest shot. Has to be said.
82.
Well, you can forgive him with Heta on such a big finish. But is there a big moment coming up?
Yeah, I don't mind him going for that bull when Damon's on 155. This is a really hard out. But not impossible. Oh, look at this. This is enormous. But it's missed. That was the biggest moment right there. Because if Price takes this, the Iceman's a huge favourite.
Yeah, he would have just missed a breath there, Gerwyn Price, as he saw Heta land 2 trebles. But he's missed 2 doubles. Make that 3. And just as he did in the first leg, could be surrendering that break straight back to Damon Heta.
Yeah, now what does he do, though? I think he goes back to double 16. Plays it like a 2-darter and plays it like a fiddle. Brilliant. 6-6.
We are getting another thrilling final here at the Winter Series. Gerwyn Price beside himself in the background there. Absolutely seething with himself.
You see that sticking the chin out. He is furious. He knows he should be 7-5 up. And now he's been embroiled in another battle.
The head shaking hasn't stopped. You need to get it still before he throws these darts. But he's straight back in the red bit.
Yeah, I don't remember a dart player playing whilst shaking their head. That'd be a fresh look.
It's quite a contrast in styles, in demeanours, isn't it? Gerwyn Price is always animated. He'll let you know what he's thinking and feeling. Heta, kind of a more laid-back character.
Yeah, it's like a statue, which is what Damon is when he plays.
45.
And Price is very animated. He's like a weeble. Do you remember the weebles?
I think I know what you're talking about, but
99.
You can knock them all you want, but they don't fall down.
Oh, yeah. I'll let you tell him that.
I'll give it a few hours. I'll see what happens here first.
Well, what's happening is another closely fought,
140.
high-quality tournament decider at the Winter Series. Michael Smith winning fantastic finals against Jermaine Watermaner and particularly
59.
Jose de Sousa yesterday.
It might not be a motivating factor, but if Heta was to win this title here, he would become the 3rd most successful Australian dart player in PDC history. He would overtake
59.
Kyle Anderson because they're currently on 1 television title and 1 Pro Tour currently. And a 2nd Players' Championship would elevate Heta into 3rd on his own.
140.
Simon Whitlock obviously number 1. Ansel on a postcard who is number 2.
Might have to check Google. That's a good first start. Wants that 140 badly. Doesn't get it. Only cuts the score in half.
But it is 2-darter versus 3-darter. Price needs the treble. He can't get it. And Heta will be back to try and edge in front here
50.
and put himself within a lap of the checkered flag.
He hasn't taken his eyes off that 60 in the last 3 seconds. He's looking north. Doesn't get far north enough.
60.
And Price will look to treble 14 to leave double 12. He graduates to the single 12 and the tops for 7-6. Taking his time to measure it.
Game shot.
Well, he hasn't been superb in that segment, but when he really needed it, it was there for Gerwyn Price.
I think that thing we touched on, you know, about the motivating factor. I think he does want to win this so he can have a break.
Well, he just got a break
95.
and now throws for an 8th title of 2020 to add to that World Cup win, to add to the World Grand Prix win, the World Series of Darts finals.
It'll reignite that debate as well, won't it?
177.
Well, what a start from Heta. He's not finished just yet.
Don't do bad finals at the Winter Series, do we? 8-6 on Tuesday, 8-7 yesterday.
9.
Minimum 8-6 here.
Well, 29 from Gerwyn Price. Heta already has the darts here. And he's thrown 4 perfect ones. Can't carry on that run, but he's in a very, very good position
87.
already to force a decider. Price needs to hit big.
He's 140 behind. And he's eating into it. Look at that. Teeth gritting. Oh, powerful dart there. Just to bypass the blocker. Heta's got the darts, though. That's the key thing here. Can he use the turn?
Yeah, the ton 40 only gets Price level.
97.
That was a crucial last start from Heta.
Great choice of words there, Murph. That was crucial with a capital crucial. How crucial was that, though? That gets him to 2-dart range.
Once again, 2-dart v 3-dart, 2 trebles and double required, or 1 treble and 2 doubles for Damon Heta. Well, he's got the first bit. Where does he go now? He stayed there but couldn't find it.
That came out fast, didn't it? I think he just fancied the lie to try and smack it into the left side of the flight. And now he's going to have to dodge Price going for 520s for the tournament.
Tops. Well, amazing that he's missed that so many times and choosing to go there with a guide like that. So inviting. But he's invited Heta back to the party.
With that lie, I think that's a mistake. I think going for the 60 for double 10 was the play. Heta needs 10s to take us all the way. Double 5. Oh, it's missed. And Price has been given a present. A Winter Series wrapped present. And this is the shot he hit to win his first Grand Slam.
Well, at the very least, had he gone the conventional way, he would have had all 3 darts at double here. He's left himself 2. And it's that cover shot again, double 10. And it
50.
is not there for Gerwyn Price. Well, Damon Heta, I'm not sure he wants to continue. It's all getting too much.
A myriad of emotions right now. And this is very, very tricky. These are the shots that people don't practice, but that's a good sign. That's a central one. Now is the dart in the way. Oh, it's a disaster. And maybe the adrenaline has just dissipated and Price is back for 5s to finish this one off with a bit of a whimper.
Yeah, well, surely he'll get the job done now. He's got the same equation. Gets the 1. double two. And Gerwyn Price prevails at the Winter Series. The Iceman conquers the Heat to take the title after a disappointing couple of days here in Coventry. Gerwyn Price has turned his fortunes around and he wins on day 3.